Well, I bought this truck without so much as opening the hood. What's the worst that could happen? The gentleman I bought this from is a neighbor of mine, has been a neighbor pretty much ever since we were born. He bought this truck, took the dump bed off of it, and parked it. And he tells me that it runs. The frame on it looks really good. Matter of fact, it's still got paint on the inside of the C-channel. It's a tandem axle GMC Brigadier. He told me he thinks it's a 1980. It looks like it's been rode hard and put away wet. But I'm really excited about this truck because of what's under the hood. Now, there's a forthcoming project. I can't wait to tell you all about it. Oh, it still smells like diesel in there. That's good. Good news is, given the time of year it is, I don't have to worry about wasps. That cab's actually in pretty good shape too. All right. That's cool. There's the transmission shift pattern. General Motors. I still don't have a year on there though. I guess that'll be on the title. Oh, look at that. That's what's up. Let's take a look at this oil. That oil is nice and black. That's good. I don't see any water in the oil. That is one massive Detroit 6-cylinder. Is that a supercharger? I think this thing's got a supercharger, y'all. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Now, when I tell you guys what I've got planned for this cabin chassis, oh, I'm so excited. I got to get it running and see if we can build some air pressure and drive it home. As you can see, it is missing radiator, but he's got the radiator. He just pulled it out because it had a leak. So now I need to back up and tell you guys something. I didn't know what I was looking at the first time I stared at this, but this is a Detroit 671. And it's a non-turbo, evidently, but it's supercharged. You know, like my handy dandy hood prop here. Looks like what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna try to get this thing to bust off. Then the second thing is try to get her to shut down and go ahead and put the radiator back in, even though it leaks, so it can stay cool enough to limp it home. Whew, I tell you something, these ain't light, y'all. They ain't light. All right. First thing, make sure she's in neutral. Oh, we show water temperature gauge moved. That's good. Just a click. It didn't take long for me to realize that my buddy was right. The starter was toast in this truck. So at this point, I packed everything up and left, and came back at a later date to remove the starter. All right, it's been another couple weeks and we are back at the truck, and we got an impact wrench and some tools. We're gonna go ahead and try to pull that starter. The starter on this sucker is not an easy to get to spot. And those bolts, or those nuts, hold the starter on, are 15/16. So I've got a swivel here, a swiveling extension. Let's see if I can't. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get an impact socket on that sucker. That's good. It's a start. There we go. Whew. Mouthful of dirt. I've heard it said this starter's like 50 pounds, so hope I ate my Wheaties when I finally do get this loose. Oh, she broke. Thank you, Lord. Rain and dirt. It definitely can't be good. That top bolt back there is in a really hard to get to spot, and I don't even know if I can reach it, but I'm sure going to try. If it comes off, then I know I only have to deal with one. All right, something came loose, I just don't know what. So to show you guys what just happened, so it spun out here, it came out with the socket. These are 3/4, so they're not that hard to get to. I believe that is the ground. Well, if you spin a stripped off nut long enough and apply a little pressure, which is what I did, I stuck a screwdriver in here and I raised up on the starter, and then I just gave it the onions, the impact wrench, spun that sucker smooth off. So I'll be able to replace this stud once I get this starter out. All right, how big a boy are you? I don't know, but you look pretty heavy. Oh, she's heavy, that's for sure. I declare, I think this is the heaviest starter I have pulled out of a vehicle to date. Oh. That's worse than wrestling with a pig, and I ain't never wrestled with a pig. Catch my breath. Go ahead and take a look at the flywheel. Actually looks pretty good. This sucker is long. I have never pulled a starter this big in my life. I'm not saying, I mean, I know there's starters that are bigger, but goodness gracious. All right, just to give you some kind of reference, I don't know if I can even do this, but I'm gonna attempt to put my forearm beside it. So I'm laying flat beside it. The crook of my elbow is longer than the tips of my fingers. Past the crook of my elbow, halfway up, well, not half, about a third of the way up my bicep. Now for the fun part, take it to the rebuild shop and find out how much damage I'm going to be out getting it rebuilt. Well, we're here at Truck Pro. We're going to see if they got that starter and that broken airline for the back of the truck. Be right back. We got some new airlines. Well, Truck Pro had my starter, but it was an upgraded starter and it was significantly more expensive. So we're going to go try a rebuild shop first, and then we'll come back here if we can't get a good rebuild. Just like that, we got a remanufactured starter. Now we just got to get back over and put it in, see if she'll start up. As I was removing the starter, one of the bolts, well, studs, stripped out. It sort of looked like that right there. And as you can see, I've got a brand new bolt beside it for comparison. And guess what? Right here in Little Rock, Arkansas, there's a place called United Engines. You have any big diesels and you're in the area, these are the guys to come talk to. They will hook you up. So thank you, United. Appreciate you very much. Now let's get back to work. So the gentleman that I bought this from, really good guy, he's got an excavator and or skid steer, I'm not sure. He's going to try to move this thing over to the pavement so I can work on it on the pavement. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm gonna roll this window down. Gosh, I love hand crank windows. Just brings me back to my childhood. He's gonna move some stuff around and then try to tow this thing out. As you've probably deduced by now, it is now hot summertime here in Arkansas. So that's why the grass is green, and that's why I'm already pouring sweat. So yeah, him moving this truck for me, lifesaver. He's moving it. And just like that, the power of hydraulics, he's got me moved up on pavement. Man, thank you, brother. So now I'll be able to use a creeper to crawl under it and reinstall that starter. Oh, she's a beaut. One of the things that happened last time was that stud stripped off. And yes, I went to Walmart and bought some Hyper Toughs. Yeah, don't laugh. Hey, they'll do the job. Yeah. One of the things I neglected to mention last time is that this right here is worth its weight in gold. This is my clamp for my GoPro, and that was how I was able to shoot the angles underneath the truck where I was working on the starter. There's like a rubber strap inside there and these rubber teeth that'll hold on really tight. And you can pick this up off of Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below. But this is my extra set of hands for holding a camera. All right, camera check. Yes, I am using an old GoPro Hero 9 because they work great. And it cost me a lot less money. Yeah, look at that. We're ready to shoot. Get it out of here. That certainly does not want to come out. I have to put the hurt on it. I may have to give this some taps with a hammer. Folks, I think we did it. All right. Y'all ready to see the payoff? Here we go. Oh, there it is. Now I know why they use studs instead of bolts. Wow. I like to not get that in, got that in there. But it's in. I need to go ahead and put a nut on it. I don't accidentally drop it on my head and go ahead and crush my skull. That would be bad. Yeah, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. We have a ground wire and a ground wire. So put that big boy on there. That's my frame ground. And then this one runs up and grounds off to the block. Then we have another wire that goes on the solenoid. While we're at it, let's go ahead and test this new bolt that we just bought. See, it's a 12 point, but it's factory original. Let's see how she works. Oh yeah, there she goes. I knew I saw a wasp. Where'd he go? Well, I'm probably gonna get stung today, y'all. I really don't want to, but dadgummit. I've done so good this whole thing. No wasps. There's one. Hopefully he goes away. Right there. You can see our brand new starter, and that bolt's got to go way back in there. It don't look like much, but y'all, that's a reach. So I'm gonna put that in because I can't get a camera back there. I'm just gonna put that in and come back when it's in. I'm telling y'all, WD-40 is worth its weight in gold. I was about getting ready to start placing this, you know, where I'm gonna stick the radiator. Look at that, right where I was gonna install the radiator. Yeah, goodbye. Okay, back to regular scheduled programming. Here we go. There we go. Fire the hole. That's a good sign. Y'all, I'm ecstatic. It runs. Now I just got to get some coolant in it so it doesn't overheat. Yes. There we go. Feels like our second hose is going to fit just nice down here. And our third hose doesn't have a clamp. Well, not to worry. I brought a pack of clamps, so we're in good shape. Harbor Freight for the win. Now that we've addressed the coolant issue, at least it's got 5 gallons in it, which isn't enough to fill it up, but it's enough to keep it from overheating to the point where it burns up for the short distance I have to drive it, which is about 2 blocks. That's where my business is in relation to this place and our sponsor. I'll tell you more about it soon. But yeah, I don't see a whole lot of drips except for my spillage up here. So yeah, hopefully she'll stay cool and we'll get her around the corner. Oil pressure built up good. I was very pleased to see that. We have 2 more gremlins to address before we can take off. Well, that is if the air brakes unlock. And that is flat tire, flat tire. We removed this line that went right here to right here because it was split in half. So now we have the job of building a line that I bought all the parts for at Truck Pro. Boom. Up we go to right there. Boom. All right, now it is just a matter of finding the right size wrench and reinstalling it. Well, it is truly an embarrassing moment in my personal history because I didn't have the wrench. So I, I reinstalled the line with a pair of ice grips that I bought from Walmart that are hyper tough. Don't judge me too harshly, please. One of the spots I noticed an air leak at was right here. And I had a feeling maybe our air takeoff would leak. So I went ahead and got another one and brought it with me. So we're gonna go ahead and replace this real quick because I actually need this air to air up those 2 flat duals back there. So let's see if this new one I bought fits. I also brought some Teflon tape. Woohoo! There we go. All right, we got her Tefloned up. Haha, she fits. That's what's up. She's building pressure because I was able to air this tire up. Look at that. Woohoo! So far, no antifreeze leaks, so that's a good thing. All right, let me put his trash can back. Yeah, baby. All right, we're gonna drive her home. All right, so we got the Screamin Jimmy home, and I've been promising you guys that I would tell you about our first sponsor, and yes, Grubby Gas has its first sponsor, and that is Monderosa Coffee Company. Monderosa.com, some of the freshest, most delicious coffee you'll ever drink. Thank you to Monderosa for sponsoring this video, and go there, order some coffee. The house blend is probably the best seller. I drink this stuff every day, love it. Ask me how I know. Drop something in the comments, I'll let you know. And yeah, so that being said, this video is a wrap, but this truck is not. You could probably guess that there's something to be said about both of these trucks that you see in this video. There's a reason we bought this Screamin Jimmy, and it's parked next to this 55 Ford that we got a few years ago. And that is because if everything works like it's supposed to, I'm thinking about doing a Detroit-powered 55 Ford. So the question is, should that cab come off and go on that chassis, or should that engine and transmission come out and go in that truck? You guys, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more about the Screamin Jimmy. If you haven't subscribed to Grub and Gas, go ahead and give us a subscription. We'd love to have you. And as always, God bless. Have a wonderful night.